for Health Week? Well, I think it's important for us in the office to get to know each other from the inside out. And make no bones about it, this is going to be fun.
So how do you go about Health Week?
Well, it ain't pretzel day. I ain't feeling it.
Why?
Just want to work on my crossword puzzle.
So how do you feel about Health Week?
Well, I mean, if we had an actual doctor and Michael, I like it. But we all know what happened last year when we had CPR training day.
Staying alive.
Yeah, okay, you didn't maintain 100 beats per minute, and the ambulance didn't arrive because nobody called 911, so you lost him.
Okay, he's dead. Anyone know what we do next? Anybody? Rose?
I have no idea.
Anyone else?
We bury him.
Wrong. Check for an organ donor card. If he has one, we only have minutes to harvest.
He has no wallet, I checked.
He is an organ donor. He is? Yeah. Give me some ice in a styrofoam bucket. Here we go.
Oh my God! What? What are you doing?
We search for the organs. Where's the heart? The precious heart.
So how do you feel about Health Week?
It's so stupid. I don't want to listen to all these people. I could be reading my magazine. It's a waste of time.
So it's Health Week at Dunder Mifflin, and everyone's doing their presentations. Pam told me everything's going pretty crap, as expected. On the bright side, Dwight's got the flu, so that's a plus. I'm not there for Health Week. I'm doing business around Scranton. So, yeah, so far it's been a pretty good week.
Last year, Mike's nephew took a piñata stick and it struck my skull. Oh, thank God that kid had me covered.
Wait, you used the kid?
Yeah, I used a kid. You know how much medical bill costs? I ain't got the money for it. Oh, dang. Went to the hospital the same day, and they said the sutures of my skull weren't bonded tightly by connective fiber tissue. Went to the hospital the same day, and they said the sutures of my skull weren't bonded tightly by connective tissue fibers due to the injury. Oh man. So my skull sutures were moving. They were moving. That's it.
So, to talk a little bit more about joints, we usually classify them in two ways, structurally and functionally. So when we classify joints functionally, we are talking about the movement allowed by the joint. So every time you move your body, that's what these joints are doing. And they're called synarthroses, which are ones that you can't move. Amphiarthroses, which you can move a little bit, but not too much, so they're slightly movable. And diarthroses, which are freely movable. So freely movable joints are always located in your limbs, like your legs and your arms. And the immovable joints, like synarthroses, are located on your axial skeleton, so like your ribs and the joints that you don't need to move as much. And when we talk about structure, there are three types of joints: fibrous, cartilaginous, and synovial. And like our functional joints, they also have the same kind of oh, sorry, had to take a break there. So as I was saying, when we talk about joints structurally, we talk about fibrous, cartilaginous, and synovial joints. So fibrous are mostly immovable, and synovial are mostly movable, and then cartilaginous can be both, so we call them amphiarthrotic. And I will be back. Don't get too excited because I'm going to be talking about bone repair. Woo! Woo. So, let's talk about bone repair, because everybody's bones break sometime, right? Okay, so some conditions are too severe for doctors to fix your bones, but many can help slowly repair them and speed up the repair process. So some techniques used to speed up bone repair are electrical stimulation of fracture sites. So research has shown that bone tissue is deposited in negatively charged areas of the bone. And so scientists, they stimulate this area to make the osteoblasts grow faster and grow more. And then also you can use an ultrasound, not for your baby, but for your bones, and that reduces healing time from 35 to 45%. And it stimulates all your cartilage cells in your bones to make calluses and harden into actual bone. And we also have free vascular fibular graft technique, which uses pieces of your fibula in your leg to replace missing bone. There's a lot more. We have vascular endothelial growth factor, and that's a protein that stimulates the growth of your blood vessels, so bringing more nutrients and minerals to your bones so they can make more. And last but certainly not least, we have bone substitutes. So they're being researched a little bit more because they're not as widely used, but that's when they use crushed cadavers and bones and synthetic materials that can create false bone, and they can be molded into different shapes for your bones. And now that we're done with that, we're going to take you over to Stanley, who's going to tell you a little bit more about those fibrous joints. Bye, guys.
The doctor told me that the sutures of my skull was an example of a fibrous joint. Another example would be a syndesmosis. Now, she said I was lucky that I hurt my sutures instead of my syndesmosis. She said if I decided to run away from the piñata stick, I would probably fall and break my ankle. And around that area surrounding the ligaments will be the syndesmosis. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what's the difference between a sutures and a syndesmosis? Why would I rather hurt my sutures than my syndesmosis? Well, the syndesmosis joints they're more longer than the sutures, and they secure the bone in that area more tightly. So, if I broke that, I'd have more problems, especially at my age.
I read about sprain, and talking about sprain, last year I sprained my ankle and it was very painful. It's when the ligaments are damaged by excessive stretching, basically torn away from the bone. It's very painful.
Dwight Schrute, Assistant Regional Manager, synovial joint expert. The synovial joint has 4 parts. The articular cartilage, found at the ends of the articulating bones. It is made up of hyaline cartilage. The articular capsule is 2 layers, the outer fibrous connective tissue layer and the inner synovial membrane. Inside is the joint cavity containing the viscous synovial fluid, which heats up and thins out with body movement. Reinforcing ligaments attach bone to bone. Why a synovial joint? Simple, lubrication. Without it, your bones would touch, grind together, creating increased friction and causing damage to your bones, and ultimate death if you're overweight, like Stanley and Kevin. Fact: synovial joints are the only freely movable or diarthrosis joints in your body. Fact: they are the most common joints found in the body. Fact: they are found in your arms and legs. Fin.
Did you know that arthritis is the most widespread crippling disease in the United States? There are 100 different types of arthritis, and all ages can and do have arthritis. It's basically an inflammation and stiffness in the joint. Another type of arthritis is called the rheumatic arthritis. It is a chronic inflammatory disorder affecting many of our joints, including small joints of our hands and feet. It occurs when our immune system attacks our own body's tissue. Another type of arthritis I read about the other day was called the gouty arthritis or gout. All these joint diseases are their names. Anyways, gout is caused by too much uric acid in the blood. It is characterized by sudden severe attacks of pain and tenderness in the joints, often the joints of the big toe. Another type of arthritis is called the rheumatic arthritis. It's a chronic disorder, mostly common in men. The chances of getting gout is if you're overweight or if you drink too much alcohol.
Oh, yeah, my back hurts. Mike had me go down the stairs with a bunch of paper and it was weighing me down. I'm starting to get back pain. It could be my intervertebral joints of the spinal column. They don't pay me enough for this. Oh, I hope it's not my cartilaginous joints. They're supposed to be slightly movable and are connected by cartilage. At least that's what my doctor told me. Alright. I'm gonna go take a painkiller. I need my cartilage.